Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of I'm I'm sorry to be using my room lights again. Also, my screen is very bright. There's nothing that I seem to be able to do about that right now. Well, I guess I can do this for the moment. Even that's not better. Hold on. And we're good. Okay. So, welcome back to another episode of highly respected names in the film industry don't like superhero movies. This time, it is Martin Scorsese. People are attacking him because of his quote from his quote, "I don't see them. I tried, but that's not cinema." Honestly, the closest I could think of them, as well made as they are, with actors doing the best they can under the circumstances, is theme parks. It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences to another human being. Now, people are upset, naturally. You have the right to be upset about that sort of thing, you know? You're basically getting bullied for liking what you like. However, I think it's important to say that he's just wrong. Like, a movie being based on a superhero or based on a comic book doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad. Same as a Martin Scorsese movie doesn't necessarily have to be good, you know? By virtue of what it is, does not determine its value and its success rate at doing what it's trying to do. I think Captain America: The Winter Soldier tells a very good psychological story. I think. Do I have it in reach? Uh, 1 second. This movie here tells one of the most emotional stories I've ever seen in any movie, and it does it with flying colors. Best movie of 2018. You saw my video. But yeah, there's a lot of bad or mediocre or just average superhero movies out there. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad, Batman vs. Superman, Man of Steel, whatever. But they're not bad because they're comic book movies. They're bad because they were either meddled with horribly by the studio or made by a director and a screenwriter who does not understand the characters and cannot tell a good functional, emotional, psychological story with them, or it just got chopped up to hell after it was finished. Who knows? But Mr. Scorsese, Mr. Cameron, Mr. Spielberg, superhero movies aren't a plague. Superhero movies aren't going to die. Superhero movies are not, by virtue of being superhero movies, bad. And even one of my friends is like, hey, all the Marvel movies suck. Which, I get that you're not going to want to watch them all if you didn't like the ones that you've seen, but you can't see, like, oh, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers Age of Ultron and Ant-Man and that, and say, like, oh, yeah, they're all bad. Like, no, they're not all bad. You just saw a very, very bad sample size of them. And, whatever. I'm not going to get on somebody for not liking the MCU, but they're not the only superhero movies out there. And it's funny that he said this, because it's like DC movies aren't just naturally better. I know that Joker stands out on its own because it's like a taxi driver, king of comedy type of Scorsese homage film that wears a Joker skin, whatever. But that doesn't make it better by virtue of being that. No movie is good or bad because it is. Like, existing in a state of the real world doesn't make you a bad movie or whatever. But, Mr. Scorsese, you sound like you don't know what you're talking about. And that's not even from somebody who's a huge MCU shill. I don't like all the movies. I don't own even half of them. But I understand that it's stupid to generalize this entire cinematic achievement as not cinema, as theme parks, not real movies, whatever. Like, are you saying that everyone who gets involved in a Marvel movie is talentless and doesn't know what they're doing and can't make a good movie? Because Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and Civil War, Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame, Spider-Man: Far From Home, and some other ones would have something to say about that. They're not all good. They're just not. But again, having a cape in the movie, having a superhero costume, having superpowers in the movie doesn't just mean it's weaker. Is Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back not a huge cinematic achievement and a moment in film and a big deal in pop culture history because it's a Star Wars movie? I don't think so. I don't think that's the same thing. But, you know, superpowers, superheroes, magic, bad. The Last Temptation of the Christ, or whatever that movie was called, The Last Temptation of Jesus Christ, 10 out of 10. And do you want to know why? Because it's a Martin Scorsese film. He also did a Netflix movie. Netflix movies are notorious for being bad because they're bad. I haven't seen not one Netflix film start to finish, and I was like, you know what? That's a good one. That right there, that's good. And I've seen, like, I saw Velvet Buzzsaw, I saw Bird Box, I saw Bright, and I saw Tall Girl. Because people are telling me that I should watch Tall Girl because it'd be funny. Bad across the board. You know? And maybe that's the same generalization as I was just talking about with Marvel movies. What's with my computer? Why are you turning on and off? But from what I've seen with the Netflix movies, the bar is as high as it can really be set because Netflix doesn't, say no to anything. They don't seem to vet their writers or anything like that. They just let whoever write whatever and they just cast somebody. But that's all I really have to say about this whole Martin Scorsese Marvel thing because I'm afraid that my computer will just reactivate in the middle of me talking and I won't be able to get through it anyway. So see you soon. Wink.